Welcome back to video 2. I found out I can only record for 10 minutes with the free version of Screencastify. I was talking about the new learning that I experienced from this paper and I shared knowledge building, design mode thinking, and we were on epistemic agency, which the important learning for the students is the self-direction that they need, self-regulation, self-awareness. A lot of this would be choices they're making, whereas in a traditional classroom, the teachers would be making these choices. The students are choosing what to work on. They're doing the long-term planning. They're assessing progress, monitoring challenges. This is what makes the learning so authentic. They're forming collaborative communities. And they're developing this collective agency, which isn't just them contributing to a group, but it's a high-level metacognitive input so that they're making collective choices about what problems the entire community should work on and what types of contributions need to be made. Another piece of new learning for me is that the learning analytics need to be unique for the knowledge building community. They have to promote continuous improvement of student ideas. The authors provide 2 guiding principles for knowledge building analytics. That is, they have to be agency driven and they must be progress oriented. They need to capture the feedback on design mode thinking to promote that continuous improvement of the student ideas. So it has to somehow demonstrate that students have to collectively grapple with high-level ideas and emergent knowledge structures, such as choosing which lines of inquiry to follow. So student choice is so very important in this entire process. And then the progress-oriented component includes both the depth and breadth of community knowledge, where they're working together, and then diving deep, looking for deeper meaning, as well as an emergence component where student reflection has to be enabled so they can be reflective about the new learning, whether it has been failures or successes. And the final piece I want to share with you is an online environment called Knowledge Forum, which I did not know about. And I just happened to see Dr. Chen at Research Day yesterday, the College of Education and Human Development's Research Day, and he was demonstrating the Knowledge Forum. He had a monitor set up right there. He was sharing a poster of his current work, as was I. And seeing it in action firsthand yesterday solidified my interest in knowledge building as a pedagogy and in the knowledge forum itself as a supportive technology tool for knowledge building pedagogy. So what's the relevance? How is this relevant for me? The paper shared 3 practical tools useful for evaluating knowledge building pedagogy. One is the Promising Ideas tool. It provides lots of contextual data around choice, about who the agents are that are proposing theories and ideas. where it was, so you actually see the notes that the student wrote, and then who's tagged in that note, and when it was written, as well as why. So all the information. So that's the Promising Ideas tool. Whoa. How did I get there? Back to relevance. I apologize. The second tool is the Epistemic Discourse tool. The Epistemic Discourse tool captures student choices of the moves that they're making and engages the students in reflection on the previous moves, as well as choosing the next fruitful moves. So very high-level knowledge processes are described. What do they need to understand? That birds are smart? Several students think so. Is it an important information? Is it an important source? Is it part of their theory? Then why is it important? So that is the Epistemic Discourse Moves tool. And then finally, the Idea Thread Mapper, which provides even more detail, timeline-based, a collective discourse structuring tool. It supports, again, student reflection, monitoring their reflection, and adaptations of collective structures of inquiry practices. So this addresses so much of what I've been concerned about. What Dr. Chen showed me yesterday is how students can pull data offline and manipulate it, and while they're doing that, all of this software is recording all the moves the students are making, whether it's their thoughts, the actual data that they're analyzing. It's very powerful. I'm glad I've got the opportunity to share it with y'all. The final component, the implications for me, I've got a whole new conceptual model of teaching, which actually relates to my own research in science voice development, where students can't be treated as objects, but they need to be agents, and very powerful agents of their own learning. Design mode is the basis of how they should be learning through discourse communities. Then analytics have to be choice-based, measuring this agency, and progress-oriented to measure the design mode, the progress that the students are making. It's going to change my course designing somewhat. I need to figure out how to work Knowledge Forum in and get access to Knowledge Forum. It's so useful for supporting knowledge building pedagogy. It archives student ideas, sustains online discourse. Perhaps some current other online forums could be used in its place, but I would have to experiment and talk to Dr. Chin. The most powerful component are the notes that you do within there. And it incorporates scaffolding within the knowledge forum. Learners use a specific set of scaffolds that direct them toward other cognitive operations to improve their understanding. The scaffolds that are basic to it include the theory and what the students need to understand, what new information do they need, what it can't explain, can they develop a better theory, and then putting that collective knowledge together. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I hope you have learned something. I look forward to hearing your responses.